Part 88. The Lucky Bag is Reborn with Space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 871. Chapter 871. One night. He glanced at the screen. The information in hand has not been read yet. Hajia Pharmacy's ranking has now reached 46th place, with one-day sales exceeding 3 million. You didn't do anything wrong? Wasn't it the two of you? He didn't believe it. An unknown drugstore with sales of 3 million a day. Even though there are only 46 people, what are they selling? They are all ordinary medicines, and they can still make 3 million in a day. If all the drugs sold are expensive, wouldn't it cost tens of millions a day? Which of the top 10 pharmacies can still survive? Do not believe. He died and didn't believe it. Zhang San and Li Si's grievances were almost revealed, but the boss just didn't believe it. Mr. He, we really have nothing to do with you. If you don't believe me, go and see for yourself. I'll go and see. You guys, please get down here. How can you be so stubborn? I still don't believe it. But so far there is no strong evidence to prove that these two people accepted bribes. A number of people could not sleep that night. Everyone is talking about a small drugstore called Hajia Drugstore. Zhang Xiaoxiao, Hao's Gang, and their gang are celebrating. 3 days after opening, all the medicines were sold out. The only theme of this meal is to have a good start. Everyone has worked hard, and it will be even harder in the future. Let's serve the most important dish first. This is the bonus I prepared for everyone. I hope everyone will continue to work hard and we will create a better future together. Brilliant. Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't bother with that nonsense, and served the first course directly. The first dish was a pile of cash piled on the plate, and a pile was placed in front of each person. Long live Mr. Hao. Because of their excitement, everyone held up the pile of money and shouted wildly. This money was no less than 5,000 yuan, and how much was their monthly salary? This is a bonus. The money Zhang Xiaoxiao put in front of Hao's Gang, Hao's Haiqiang, Hao's Hija, Hao's Hickson, and Brother Jin was naturally different from them. From now on, these 3 shops will be handed over to you. I hope you will work harder, unite as one, and do a good job in business. Don't worry about money. I have decided that each of the 5 of you will own 5% of the equity at the end of the year. Do the math for yourself. The better the business in the store, the more money you will get at the end of the year. Hao's Gang naturally knew that this dividend would definitely satisfy them. In addition to dividends, he is also in charge of 50% of the Hao family's profits. Zhang Xiaoxiao drank a glass of wine with everyone, ate something and went home directly. She still has a big task waiting for her, and these 3 months have just begun. I have to go back and work hard overtime, but now it seems that I can't always make medicine alone. After that, I went to study at the Medicine God Association, but time did not allow it. You have to find a way to cultivate 2 talents. Poaching people may not be possible. Looking for people from outside, naturally a lot of people want to come over and help. I wish I could take away their secret recipe. Zhang Xiaoxiao is naturally not afraid of others getting her secret recipes from her. These secret recipes of hers are all commercially available and can be bought by anyone with just a little money. The most important thing is that you master something fundamental, something that no one can possess. You still have to get some more trustworthy and reliable people to help you refine the medicine. But it seems that it is not easy to find this person at the moment, but I have 3 months to find it myself. If it doesn't work, just bring Hao's Gang in and train him to make medicine. It cannot be that the Hao family really has no successors. Hao's Gang didn't know that he was already being remembered. What's going on at Hao's pharmacy? How did it sell for 3 million? The head of the Feng family. We suspect that the person behind the Hao family pharmacy is the old man of the Wu family. Our people followed the whole process and found that the housekeeper of the old Wu family sent people to buy all the medicines in these 3 pharmacies. This is how the sales of 3 million are come. Mr. Feng paused and asked, "What the is this old doing?" "Father, don't worry, let's take another look. This pharmacy cannot be open for just 1 day. As long as the Hao family pharmacy continues to open, we will know whether the Hao family and the Wu family are tied by a rope." Mr. Feng has not figured out the details of the Hao family yet. A bit mysterious. The head of the Zhao family. Where did this Hao family pharmacy come from? An unknown pharmacy could reach the 46th place in 1 day. This is extraordinary. Anyone can enter on the Dragon and Tiger list. But since the Medicine God Association dares publish this on the internet to prove that this is conclusive evidence, those who have the strength to rush to this point are not ordinary people. Let me find out who is behind this Hao family pharmacy. Yes. Fatty Zhang was beaming with joy. "Uncle, big brother, this Hao family pharmacy is the Hao family pharmacy I told you. That ant of the Hao family is the alchemist behind them. Look, they can make a top-grade Zuyan Dan. Nowadays, level 10 elixirs are littered all over the streets. You can buy level 10 rheumatism and bone pain ointment for 10,000 yuan. And you don't know that the scene was a slap in the face during the day today. I specially dug out the complete video from the reporter. It is really exciting to see. The most important thing is that the 10-level rheumatism and analgesic ointment sells for 10,000 yuan, which is so cheap. If this continues, it will not be difficult for Hao's pharmacy to break into the top 10. That smug look was asking for praise and praise, but he had already established a relationship with the Hao family in advance. He and Hao's Hegang are now as good as buddies. Mainly because this buddy of mine is unexpected. Level 10 elixirs are sold for cabbage prices. Impact the market. You did a good job this time. If you have a chance, please invite that Hao's Hegang to come and sit at home. Let's talk about cooperation. Zhang Shaija immediately realized the business opportunities in this. Regardless of the impact on the market, people have the ability to make medicines that are everywhere at a cabbage price. If they are sold at a cabbage price now, it depends on their ability. If they can catch up with the Hao family, they will naturally have a chance to get this method into their own hands. Level 10 elixirs are not cabbage, and they cannot be made immediately by anyone who wants to. The test also tests the level and ability of the alchemist. Now it is clear that the Hao family has mastered a method. It can be done easily. This is strength. Fatty Zhang nodded. Send someone to catch that Hao Rugjia for me. Since he is an alchemist, it should naturally be in our hands. If the Li family has the means to refine 10th level elixirs at will, it will be our Li family who will take care of it from now on in the West City. Calculate. Li Zhija is the head of the Li family and the leader of the new generation of the Li family. The Li family is second only to the Gu family among the 8 major medical families. Now we are resorting to extraordinary measures directly. The people of the Li family sent out people to do the work as soon as they agreed. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 872. Chapter 872. Thank you. Zhang Xiaoxiao and Song Zian went home. Song Zian looked unhappy. What's so good about studying this? I know it all, you can't force me to learn something I don't want to learn. Song Zian was unhappy being with a group of brats. Zhang Xiaoxiao knew that Song Zian had a bad temper. As a child, only I could cure her. The current model is not very effective even with one's own majesty. You know everything? Zhang Xiaoxiao asked. Song Zian rolled her eyes guiltily. I will. How about memorizing an ancient poem, a simpler one called The Wine Will Come In? It's very popular. If you can't do it, you shouldn't. If you can memorize it, I won't let you go to school. Song Zian's eyes jumped with excitement, but unfortunately, she didn't know how to do it. She didn't put as much effort into learning anything as she did on her own mecha. She didn't even bother with poetry and songs. Look down upon it? No, change it? Then what do you know? I can. On the road to the door, two people walked out from the shadows, with black muzzles in their hands. Two people also flashed out from behind. Miss Howe, come with us, our master asks you to meet us. The bodyguard hiding in the dark was about to take action. A shadow flew up. The two people currently had their necks strangled with one hand and nailed high to the wall. What are you going to do? Talk to my mother with respect. My mother is a doctor, a respected doctor. Get out of here if you don't understand politeness. The two people behind him felt the strong pressure and did not even dare to point their guns at the woman in front of them. Swallowing quietly, their information was wrong. Haorugio is not at all like what people reported. A daughter at such a young age actually has professional explosive power and force value. They even know that the information revealed by the other party is that they really dare to kill people. A little girl. It's so scary. They are here to invite people, not to kill. They did not dare to act rashly without receiving orders. Sorry, we were wrong. The words begging for mercy came out intermittently. Yan, let them go, we're almost out of breath. This is Fang Xiaohuai's daughter. Is it possible that Fang Xiaohuai also inherited some of her characteristics from Fang Xiaohuai like glutinous rice balls? But this child was very angry and did not see the killing intent in his eyes. It is really about killing people. Zhang Xiaoxiao read it right, it was a rhythm that really wanted to kill people. Song Zian pouted and glanced at Zhang Xiaoxiao with an aggrieved look, her eyes filled with accusations. You actually help others. They want to harm you. I'm protecting you. Song Zian felt aggrieved. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked up, touched Song Zian's hair, and gently opened Song Zian's fingers one by one. Two men who were almost out of breath struggled to survive. Yan, mother knows that you love me and want to protect me. But mother hopes that you will not be stained with this blood. Let's ask them what they want to do. Can we solve it in other ways? Don't kill people. Mom doesn't like this way, be good. Yan, mom loves you the most too. Thank you my baby for thinking of protecting me. Had he not grown up watching this child, Zhang Xiaoxiao would have suspected that he was harboring a murderer who would kill without blinking an eye. Song Zian finally lost her anger when she saw Zhang Xiaoxiao's gentle eyes and the smile on her lips. Okay, my mother spared you, you thank my mother. She likes Zhang Xiaoxiao's gentleness and is reluctant to make Zhang Xiaoxiao angry. How come your heart has become so soft? Why? A big devil is finished. I love the woman in front of me very much, who asked her to love her. Thanks. The two men almost died, and now they are in shock. They can only say thank you. Let's go in and talk. The four men's feet almost went weak. Go in? Now we are all going to die, can we still survive if we go in? Ms. How, we are just here to ask you to talk. There is no harm. There really is no harm. The other companion glanced at the guns in each other's hands and blushed. This is called no malice? What a nonsense. Hurry and put it away. Who sent you? I haven't touched anyone's cake, at least not yet. The head of the Li family actually admires your knowledge very much and wants to invite you to talk about cooperation. He has no other intention. Who believes it? The head of the Li family is very powerful. Compared to the Gu family, Li Meng of the Li family has a bad temper, is arrogant, and looks down on many people. If the Li family hadn't been able to fight against the Gu family and didn't have the talents of the Gu family, the Li family would have become the president of the Medicine God Association. Li Meng disliked the fact that the Gu family was too mild-mannered, conservative, and stuck in rules, and failed to develop Zishi into a true birthplace of ancient medicine inheritance. Attract people from all over the world to understand the charm of ancient medicine, and let more people know the beauty of ancient medicine. Li Meng wanted to develop a great cause of ancient medicine. More talents are needed. Go back and tell you, the head of the Li family, that I am not interested in his proposal. I am a member of the Hao family. Naturally, I have our own inheritance and will not cooperate with others. I will not offend others unless they offend me. I will probably not be like this next time. Good luck. I hope no one will die because of this incident, and I also hope that the head of the Li family will stop. They are all descendants of ancient medicine, so there is no need to rush into each other. The four people fled in panic. Song Xian stared at the four people gloomily and released a ray of mental power. Think of letting it go? No way. My mother is a bit of a womanly person, and it is impossible to reason with such a person. Looks like she has to come. Otherwise Zhang Xiaoxiao will be worried in the future. Late night? Li Meng, the head of the Li family, put down the phone. Gu's surname is too ignorant of promotion. He doesn't belong to the Medicine God Association, so why should he have the final say? He requested the Medicine God Association to intervene in the investigation of Hajia Pharmacy, and also requested that Hajia Pharmacy's finished medicines be banned. Mainly because people are currently curious about how the Hao family's elixirs are made. Someone has already bought Hajia pills and studied them. The same is true for the Li family. Feng Shijia Tong ointment is indeed a 10-level plaster. 10,000 yuan for a 10th-level plaster. Li Meng felt distressed. If this was placed in the Li family, it could be increased 50 times. High profit. What's especially shocking is that no one can decipher the Hao family's pharmaceutical process. The Hao family dared to sell it for 10,000, so the cost must be very low. Such a cost is too tempting. Li Meng wanted to deal with the Hao family, but unexpectedly the Gu family refused. People say in a high-sounding way that the Medicine God Association is a fair and impartial benchmark of ancient medical ethics. No one can use the power in their hands to coerce others. The Medicine God Association is not such an organization. Li Meng was so angry at being rejected. Isn't it just a Hao family? Without the Medicine God Association, can I still accomplish things? Just wait and see. There are many means to do it. Let Lao Wu and the others take 50 people and capture the rest of the Hao family, except for that Hao Rugjiu. I don't believe she won't show up obediently, unless she doesn't care about the Hao family. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 873. Chapter 873 Mental Disorder. It shouldn't be necessary, my mother, please don't move. In the empty study room, a sudden voice appeared, leaving Li Meng stunned for a moment. Then it returns to normal. Li Meng, as the head of the Li family, has encountered many life and death crises. It is nothing. The contraction of the pupils is not obvious, and the whole person has returned to calmness. Who are you? The other party had his back to the light, so he couldn't see his facial features, but he could feel it. He was not tall. Hands clasped on the drawer, there was a gun inside. Don't bother, this is what you're looking for, right? I'll give it back to you. The wind is coming. On the table in front of Li Meng, a gun was thrown there. The barrel of the gun was twisted like a twist. Li Meng's mouth twitched. This was a very powerful attack. A man came over and sat on the chair opposite Li Meng. Li Meng felt relieved. He had felt extremely dangerous just now. What kind of person did he think he was? It turned out to be a little girl. Looks like about 10 years old. He has a ponytail, fair skin, big round eyes, and bright black eyes, like two black gems, with fire seeming to flash in his black eyes. Who are you? Li Meng racked his brains and couldn't figure out whose family sent the girl. But it's not a threat. As a grown man, I am not afraid of a girl. I'm Song Zian, I heard you were looking for my mother. Li Meng is confused. Song Zian? I don't know it myself, I haven't heard of it. Who is your mother? At my age, over 60 years old, I have long lost my interest in women. You nobles forget things. My mother is Haorugjio. You sent 4 people there today. I am here to tell you, stop bothering my mother. My mother is not interested in your tricks. Song Zian hated someone who threatened Zhang Xiaoxiao. Once there is such a threat, she has an urge to eliminate it. You are Haorugjio's daughter? You are very courageous. Now that you are here, you can stay. It saves me the trouble of sending someone to invite you over. My child, how did you get in? Li Meng waved his hand, and there were 10 bodyguards hiding in the darkness. He was not worried at all. It was impossible for someone to sneak into Li's house quietly. At least I haven't encountered it in 60 years. No movement. Li Meng shouted, come here. Take the little girl down. Still no movement. Song Zian opened the study door. The 10 bodyguards outside the door were tied tightly and piled together. They all looked at Li Meng awkwardly. Their mouths were blocked, their faces were red, and it was a shame for them to be bodyguards. Looking for them? Didn't I tell you not to waste that effort? It seems that your old family members are old and their brains are not working well. What I said before will be forgotten later. Not only them, but also your sons and grandsons. Now we are all sleeping soundly in our own beds, and I don't like anyone interrupting our conversation. Song Zian closed the door and climbed onto the chair. What do you want to do? Haorugjio sent you here. Li Meng would be in trouble only if he believed that the girl in front of him was Haorugjio's daughter. This is the daughter? Must be the bodyguard brought by Haorugjio. Just using the name of Haorugjio's daughter to facilitate things and confuse outsiders. Haorugjio's daoer was caught without seeing him. My mother wouldn't send me here. I came here secretly. If my mother knew, I would probably have to endure a meal of stir-fried meat with bamboo shoots. I don't like stir-fried meat with bamboo shoots. It's quite painful. My mother won't be polite at all. Why? But whoever said she was my mother, let's fight her. I just couldn't bear to argue with her. Li Meng's old-fashioned words made Li Meng not sure how to answer them. How much did Haorugjio spend on you? How about I pay you 10 times the price? You can get real benefits by helping me. There is no one in this world who is not moved by money, just by looking at the value. Everyone has a price. No one is an exception. Li Meng is confident that the little girl in front of him also has weaknesses. Haorugjio can afford it, so he can do it himself. Song Zian was happy. Old man, do you suffer from Alzheimer's disease? I remember that it was your son in the bedroom just now. I must warn him that such an old man is not smart enough, and yet he allows you to be the head of the family here, and he is not afraid of exposing you. Is the home going astray? Really? I know that children should be filial. How could I still order you like this? Look, you are talking nonsense to outsiders. Little girl, don't evade the important and take the easy 1 million, or 10 million, our Li family can afford it as long as you ask. There is nothing I can't afford. Help our Li family and you will get more benefits. How about it? Think about it. Li Meng didn't care about the little girl's teasing, but his eyes still shone. Such a young girl is so deceitful that she can quietly knock down 10 of her bodyguards and everyone in the villa. So far, he has never seen anyone with this ability. If this little girl becomes their family's bodyguard, who is still capable and able to compete with the Li family? Whoever disobeys will be punished. He is still afraid of the Gu family. How is your life? Song Zian put away her smile and leaned close to Li Meng coldly. How much do you think it would be appropriate for me to sell my mother to you? Li Meng felt the threat. This child really wanted to kill someone. My heart skipped a beat. Are you really Hao Rugjiu's daughter? Your biological daughter? What do you think? Old man, you talk too much and have a bad mind. According to my parents' standards, a person like you is of very poor character and has questionable conduct. You are also obviously prepared to bully the market, buy and sell by force, and, if you dare to send someone to deal with my mother, don't say no. I heard you ordered everyone in our family to be arrested. I have no control over how you deal with other people, but I am very angry when you deal with my mother. Very serious consequences. Mr. Li, you can take a good rest. As you get older, you should take a good rest. Don't worry so much, it's not good. A lightning-quick mental attack. Li Meng couldn't defend himself and had a splitting headache. He fell to the ground holding his head. After a while, he was foaming at the mouth and passed out. Song Zian opened the curtains, and behind them were Li Meng's three sons, Li Ji, Li Xia, and Li Xiang. The three people were pouting, and now they were trembling when they saw the girl in front of them. Don't be afraid. I'm not dead. I promised my mother not to kill anyone. I will keep my word. But your old man will be really stupid in the future. He can still enjoy his old age in peace. From now on, you should be a good person and don't think about getting something for nothing all day long. Take plunder. This is not good, otherwise I can continue to help your Li family replace someone in that position. Be a good person. I will observe you from time to time. If you do not do well, violate your conscience, or behave badly, you will be responsible for the consequences. After Song Zian finished speaking, she went downstairs with a smile, opened the door and left. The three sons of the Li family finally untied the rope and sent the old man to the doctor. The doctor's diagnosis was to shake his head. The old man is really insane. Unless he really gets the mortal pill, there is no way he can recover. Mortal pill? That was just a dream. Mortal pill has been lost and no one can make it? Li Ji stopped. They always advise the old man to keep a thin line in his life so that they can meet each other easily in the future. Something happened now. But I can't afford to offend him. If the god of death is unhappy, their whole family will become mentally ill. There is no place to reason. Speak to whomever you give it to. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 874. Chapter 874 Tao Zi's Change. Hajia Pharmacy is open for business. 1 hour. Sold out. Seeing that this man was about to crush the glass, Hao Zhigang hurriedly asked someone to close the door. When business is not good, everyone is anxious. When business is good, everyone is still anxious. Business is also very good now. Close business as soon as it opens. This has been the case for 3 days in a row, so Hao Zhigang can only implement a new policy. Hajia Pharmacy will open at 8 a.m. every day for 1 hour, first come, first served, no waiting after midnight. As soon as this news came out, the West City was shaken. The Hao family is arrogant. But there are still many people queuing up overnight to buy medicine. Many ordinary people have to buy medicine even if they shop on the ground. Cheap. Many people have received the news that even though the medicines purchased at Hajia Pharmacy are ordinary pills, they are as effective as level 10 pills. You can buy level 10 medicine at this price, but it's a cabbage price. So 1 spreads it to 10, 10 spreads it to 100, and 100 spreads it to 1,000. Hee. Hajia Pharmacy is actually very popular. He gang looked at Hajia Pharmacy, which was in the top 30 sales list every day, and now they finally believed that they had risen to the top based on their strength. They squatted outside Hajia Pharmacy for 10 days in a row, and it was full every day. Sold out as soon as it opens. The popularity has not been seen in many years. It seems that what everyone buys is not medicine but street snacks. Crying and shouting to buy medicine. He gang sat there and said nothing for a long time. This thing is unusual in every aspect. They bought a copy of the elixir. Specially for research. The ingredients of the elixir are exactly the same as the formula, but there is a strange ingredient in it. They cannot study the ingredients of the medicine at the moment. Someone has compared it and it seems to be similar to a certain substance in the Kunlun Mountains. This is even more surprising. Kunlun Mountain is a mysterious existence in their minds. No one can come back from there. Only one person can do it in hundreds of years. That is a legend in their ancient medical circles. Now some people actually have medicinal materials from the Kunlun Mountains. No wonder the 10th level elixir is as cheap as Chinese cabbage. Haorugjiu and the others investigated all the information. Can't find any flaws at all. Send someone to investigate Haorugjiu's secrets, but this will take time. So far there seems to be nothing wrong with Haorugjiu. She has profound medical knowledge, top-notch pharmaceutical technology, is low-key and humble, and is very popular. Mr. Wu liked Haorugjiu very much and introduced many of his old friends to Hao's house to buy medicine. Nothing seems wrong now. Gu Yang looked at the report. Haorugjiu. 10th level elixirs and super level elixirs are readily available. There are still such people in the world. If there is, he would like to see it. Is the dream that the Gu family has pursued all their lives come true? Zhang Xiaoxiao had no idea that the world was in turmoil because of her. This person is very busy, and she really has some experience in making medicine. The application of peach juice is more skillful. She found that her space seemed to have changed. The peach tree that grew out of the spring disappeared with Songmoding's coma, and it still doesn't exist now. But now the peach tree I planted in the field has grown to a full 10 meters tall. Peach trees can grow up to 10 meters, isn't that scary? Who has seen it? The branches are luxuriant, and the crown of the tree is now fully 10 meters wide. The red peaches are densely hidden among the green leaves, which makes people feel very pleasant to look at. The quality of peaches should be improved. Because the color becomes bright red and the fragrance is fragrant. This fragrance seems to have become mellow and rich, long and transparent, and the amount is much greater. Zhang Xiaoxiao counted carefully and found that there were 99 peaches on one tree. The 9 at the top seem to be even more different, so red that it makes people salivate. Zhang Xiaoxiao, a person who has become indifferent to his appetite, couldn't help but eat one. After eating, Zhang Xiaoxiao realized that his body seemed to have changed somewhat, but the change did not seem to be very obvious. The amazing thing is that there always seems to be something surging in the body, as if it is about to burst out. And there is always a strong feeling in the body. It seems like something is calling me. Had she not believed in ghosts and gods, she would have wondered whether there was something calling her in this place. Very strong sense of mission. It seems like there is something waiting for me here. The problem is that this is a very mysterious feeling, which is difficult to describe. In addition to these strange changes, Zhang Xiaoxiao also discovered that the peach tree in his space used to produce fruit almost twice a day, but now the time of fruiting has obviously changed. It takes almost a month for a tree of peaches to mature. The purity of the processed peach juice seems to be improved, so every time Zhang Xiaoxiao adds the peach juice to the medicine, it is added after dilution. 1 drop of peach juice can be diluted to make almost 50,000 pills. Zhang Xiaoxiao himself couldn't believe it. It's amazing. Zhang Xiaoxiao had an intuition that he must join the Medicine God Association as soon as possible, otherwise the consequences seem to be increasingly unpredictable. Who knows what will happen in the future? Comrade Lao Song, how are you? Zhang Xiaoxiao was worried about Song Moding, and even more worried about the children at home. I am not a very good mother. I left the old and the young at home and walked away easily. But I also knew that my mother and father would probably be worried and unable to sleep every night. Fan Chiuing, how worried Zhonglashi would be. There are also glutinous rice balls, steamed buns, and tuan tuan yun. Looking at the one sleeping soundly, it was Song Zian. This girl is now completely free to let herself go. She was always used to sleeping alone in the past. Sister and sister wanted to be with her, but they were rejected. It's better now, just sleep in your own bed every day. Every day when I wake up, when I open my eyes for the first time, I will definitely see the sleeping face with tears streaming down my face, and sometimes there is even a thigh pressing on me. There is really no way to sleep. But this kid is really amazing. Too much Zhang Xiaoxiao is not worth knowing the means. Sometimes Zhang Xiaoxiao would make malicious speculations. Could it be said that when Fang Xiaowai gave birth to this child, all her abilities were taken away by the child? Perhaps Fang Xiaowai has great ill intentions towards this child. Song Zian, who has a vengeful temperament, will directly remove the fuel from the bottom of the cauldron. Otherwise Fang Xiaowai wouldn't be able to be dealt with by them so easily. Fang Xiaowai is paralyzed in bed and will never get up in her life. If Fang Xiaowai had some original means, how could she not save herself? Who wants to lie in bed and be a useless person for the rest of his life? Zhang Xiaoxiao heard that Fang Xiaowai was paralyzed on the bed. Although Song Mohuan did not divorce Fang Xiaowai, Song Mohuan would never tolerate Fang Xiaowai again. Apart from hiring a nanny to take care of her every day, Song Mohuan is basically unwilling to go home. Of course, he is okay with his daughter Nanan. But that girl is exactly like Fang Xiaowai. These are the news that MRS Song brought to her in the letter. I heard that glutinous rice and steamed buns have won the first prize. The two children are only 15 years old. Zhang Xiaoxiao asks Song Zian to take the prepared pills back. Hope the children are well. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 875. Chapter 875 Test, 1. 3 months later. Hajia Pharmacy has now opened 6 stores. Hao's Higang is now the general manager of Hajia Drug Store. Hao's Haiqiang, Hao's Hixin, Hao's Hija, Brother Jin, and Fatty Zhang are in charge of the other 5 branches of Hajia Pharmacy. Everyone will be surprised, how come Fatty Zhang also became the manager of Hajia Drug Store? Of course, because the Zhang family and the Hao family broke down, Zhang Shaija used some means to embezzle the Hao family pharmacy. However, Brother Jin and his men took over the whole thing. Fatty Zhang's position was clear. The righteousness is to destroy one's relatives. The news was sent to Hao's Higang in advance. Naturally, the Hao family valued his favor. Fatty Zhang was also disliked by the Zhang family, so he directly abandoned the dark side and defected to the Hao family and became the manager of the Hao family pharmacy branch. The turnover of each Hao store now exceeds 3 million. Zhang Xiaoxiao also trained 16 younger generation pharmacists for the Hao family. 16 people with an average age of 15. These are Hao's Haiqiang's younger brothers and sisters, and they are all people who have gone through rigorous tests. This test does not refer to learning ability and talent. Instead, it is a test of character and character. In Zhang Xiaoxiao's words, talent can slowly make up for weakness with hard work, but character is a virtue that is difficult to change. Character determines how far a person will go in the future. With good character, one can naturally become a good doctor. Besides, they are making medicine, not doctors, so talent is not that important. Talent is a thing that is vulnerable to Song Zian. Once the pustular idiot is in her hands, it means 3 months of military training. It is said to be military training, but it is inhuman torture. According to the memories of the children of the Hao family, everyone kept silent about those days after military training. Those days were an unbearable burden in their lives. It was also an experience that benefited them a lot throughout their lives. After some mental attack and torture, everyone will become the best alchemist. There are many people of the same generation whose mental power exceeds that of other families. Become the leader instantly. Of course I can accept the job in Zhang Xiaoxiu's hands. Of course the core peach juice is in Song Xian's hands. Zhang Xiaoxiao had already given these steps to Song Xian step by step. Otherwise this child will cause trouble everywhere. Song Xian has transferred to 15 schools. If this continues, no school will accept her. What can Zhang Xiaoxiao do? You can only compromise. As long as it is anything other than studying, Song Xian is very interested. And Song Xian is extremely lethal. His personality is what makes him shy away from almost all schools. They won't accept it even if you are rich. Song Xian has become a big problem now. Fortunately, Song Xian has a strong sense of responsibility and can do well in whatever tasks are assigned to her. So what if Zhang Xiaoxiao refuses to compromise? She is not a teacher, and even if she is a teacher, she probably cannot educate her own children. Zhang Xiaoxiu's only surprise was that the Medicine God Association seemed unmoved. The 8 major aristocratic families seemed to be silent. The Zhang family's move and the Li family's failed invitation did not cause any waves at all. Just like that, it just stopped. But they ushered in Zhang Xiaoxiu's registration test. Zhang Xiaoxiao took Hao Rugjiu's identity certificate and went to the Medicine God Association to register, accompanied by Hao Zhigang. The registration test for the new season has begun. Zhang Xiaoxiao handed over his ID card. The staff in charge of registration took one look at the ID card and his expression suddenly changed. Hao Rugjiu? Like thunder piercing the ears. Is there anyone who doesn't know this name now? Ms. Hao, please fill out a registration form, and then you can go in for the test. If the test score exceeds the average standard of 60 points, you can become a new pharmacist of the Medicine God Association. I wish you all the best. I feel secretly excited. The wait is finally here. Zhang Xiaoxiao quickly filled out the form, then signed it and handed it to the staff. Someone took her upstairs. Pointing to the stairwell, Ms. Hao, the test is going up there. There are usually 3 levels. Don't be in a hurry and take your time. A kind reminder. Zhang Xiaoxiao knew that there would be a screening standard, but he didn't know what the screening standard was yet. No one in the Hao family has passed the first level, so naturally no one can provide reference experience. Hao Zhigang cheered, this is the hope of the Hao family. Although he knew Zhang Xiaoxiao was fake, Hao Zhigang still hoped that Zhang Xiaoxiao could succeed. No one in the Hao family has succeeded in 100 years. It's embarrassing, isn't it? But if you don't have enough qualifications, no one can change it. Whether the Hao family can be called a family on the Medicine God Association's list again depends on whether my aunt can become a pharmacist of the Medicine God Association. Auntie, you can do it, you must do it. I don't know whether to say it to myself or to Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled calmly, I can definitely do it. I thought in my heart that I must do it even if I can't do it. Song Xian stood beside Hao Zhigang silently. Mom went there for Father Song. She will definitely help her mother. She misses her father. You can be a sparring partner for free. Dad who has no regrets should wake up early. She also missed her brothers and sisters, and her grandparents. I miss my family. Song Xian never thought that one day she would recognize so many people as her relatives. Missing this kind of thing is so upsetting. Zhang Xiaoxiao went upstairs without hesitation. The stairs are very long, and only the stairwell is illuminated by dim lights. The further you go up, the darker it gets. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the lights getting closer and closer to him, and when he walked closer, there was no one there. There is only something like a screen in the empty room. Alone, waiting for her arrival. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the screen in confusion. Does testing qualifications now rely on high technology? If you want to go into a deserted place alone, please choose the only thing you can bring with you. You can only bring one piece, so choose carefully. A mechanical sound is emitted. A panel suddenly appears at the bottom of the screen. There are a lot of things listed above. Food, drink, supplies, weapons, and even first aid medicines are all available. Zhang Xiaoxiao thought deeply. Entering a deserted place, he has his own space, and there is no need to think about food and drink. We don't lack these things. Medicines. She also has peaches, which can be regarded as a cure-all for almost all diseases. Weapons. Do you need weapons in the middle of nowhere? No, I said it was deserted, but I didn't say there were no wild animals or anything like that. That means you need weapons. Hang on, since it is a test, it must be related to medicine. If people in the ancient medical field have no requirements for qualifications, why would they need to take the test? According to theory, drugs should also be selected. But this completely violates the original intention of the choice. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the panel. She didn't need weapons. A branch of the Huanghuali tree produced in her own space was the hardest weapon. Song Moding experimented and found that a wooden sword made from a Huanghuali branch could cut iron as well as clay. I don't know how Song Moding managed to turn a branch into a wooden sword. I have almost all the spaces I need, so why do I need these now? If you want to speculate on other people's thoughts, just don't do anything at all. Let people guess. Zhang Xiaoxiao closed the screen. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 876. Chapter 876, The of Medicine is passed down to humans. The moment the screen closed, a dazzling white light flashed in the dark room. A new staircase appears. Zhang Xiaoxiao stepped forward. After walking 2 steps, I noticed a little girl crying on the stairs. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked around suspiciously. It was indeed a staircase. Is this the previous tester? What's wrong with you? Why are you crying? No one is without curiosity. The girl raised her tear-stained face and said, "Sister, mother doesn't want me anymore." Zhang Xiaoxiao saw a face covered with black birthmarks, and the little girl's eyes were desperate. Don't be afraid. It's not that your mother doesn't want you. She's waiting for you outside. Do you want to go up with your sister? Or do you want to go down? I can take you down. The little girl shook her head. Sister, if you return from the test here, you will lose the test qualification. Is it worth it for you to do this for me? Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled. Is this a test? Soul torture? That's not what you should consider. Do you choose to go down or go up? Since it is a test, I will definitely go up. Zhang Xiaoxiao absolutely believes this. I am just following the trend. Then I'll go up. I can't delay my sister's test. The little girl smiled happily and extended her hand to Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the little girl with slender fingers and clenched her fingers. Then I felt a strong attraction coming from the little girl's hand. Very volatile. Zhang Xiaoxiao stared at the little girl in front of him. This was the real test. Sister, don't be afraid, close your eyes and feel with all your heart, I won't hurt you. With a bewitching voice, Zhang Xiaoxiao felt that he was starting to get tired instantly. The eyelids are so heavy that they have to be closed together. A voice told her that she needed to rest. Then Zhang Xiaoxiao opened her eyes instantly. There had never been such a riot in her space. It's like an earthquake. Zhang Xiaoxiao could feel the shaking of the river, as if something was breaking out of the ground. The attraction in the palm of the hand seems to be weakening, and the little girl's entity slowly turns into an illusion. Zhang Xiaoxiao closed his eyes, and a new force was integrated and decomposed in the space, and gathered into the spiritual spring. Zhang Xiaoxiao saw that his space had changed a lot. The original spiritual spring was just a gurgling mountain spring, delicate and small, but now it has turned into an endless waterfall with splashing water that has increased more than 10 times. The spring water is white and clear, and there are fish jumping in the spring water. My own peach tree can no longer be called a peach tree. It is fully 10 meters long. Zhang Xiaoxiao is now worried about how to pick peaches. Now this peach tree has surpassed the image of peach tree in people's consciousness. The peach trees are full of fruits, and every peach actually shines with red light. Zhang Xiaoxiao learned to climb peach trees before. But now, the nearest branches are 5 meters away from me. She doesn't have the skills to jump up. Ladder. Non-existent. If you can think about it, a peach will fall right away. Zhang Xiaoxiao sighed, almost muttering to himself. Then a peach appeared in front of my hand. It was a red peach, plump and cute, and it smelled so sweet that it was hard to resist the temptation. Zhang Xiaoxiao really wanted to eat, and then he saw the Huanghuali tree. Tall and mighty, like tall trees that have never been developed in the primitive jungle. My own wheat fields have also changed. The wheat in the wheat field grows almost as tall as corn, and the ears are heavy. Each plant seems to be a product of its shape, and a grain of wheat is as big as a palm. This is wheat. The same goes for the rice in the rice fields. They have turned into giant plants. I seem to be a dwarf who has mistakenly entered the land of giants, and I am instantly surprised. That energy seems to have changed a lot. Ding ding, warning, warning, energy failure, there is a risk of explosion in the testing laboratory, please evacuate all staff. A voice woke Zhang Xiaoxiao up. What? Explode. The little girl in front of him has disappeared without a trace. But there was thick smoke all around. Zhang Xiaoxiao turned around, but found that the stairs going down suddenly burst into flames. The scorching flames make it impossible to get close to them. Zhang Xiaoxiao turned around and went upstairs. Haven't you encountered a test failure that only happens once in 1,000 years? Don't even say it's true. The members of the test and assessment team have long been in chaos. Mr. Gu, the energy device is out of balance now. It seems that the energy of the energy device is exhausted all at once now. The test operation is malfunctioning and there is a risk of explosion. The research staff are dying of panic. They have not encountered this kind of thing in hundreds of years. The tester is faulty. Hurry up and evacuate people to ensure the safety of every tester. Close the testing site. Gu Hong gave the order. No, a tester has entered the level 3 test site. Once it is closed, the tester will be locked inside. Once there is danger, we cannot rescue. The staff watched helplessly as Zhang Xiaoxiao walked up the stairs. Gu Hong said angrily, you guys find a way to solve the problem. Turn on the backup machine. Can Gu Hong not be in a hurry? The tester in front of me actually passed the first level and got a perfect score of 100. Even if there was a failure in the second level, the test result was still a perfect score. For such a seedling, they can already obtain effective results exceeding S-level doctors in 2 levels. This means the emergence of a genius that only occurs once in a century. The Medicine God Association only encounters one such talent every 100 years on average. The exploration of Kunlun realm is waiting for such people to be able to open it. If something happens to someone nowadays, Gu Hong would want to die. Let's do our best to ensure people's safety. You can use spare S-level energy, but that will cause serious damage. The researcher replied in a low voice. Their reserve energy has not been used for 100 years. The last time they were forced to use the reserve energy seemed to be during Gu Yang's test. That was the most amazing genius in the ancient medical field for 100 years, and the only person who passed the 3rd level with 260 points. Those who have a score of 180 are already outstanding and have the qualification of a doctor. A score of 200 points is already AC and talent. Will receive quota training from the Medicine God Association. Those with scores above 220 are B and talents and will be trained by the top pharmacists of the Medicine God Association. Those with scores above 240 are considered A and talents. They are already the successors of the Medicine God. The top pharmacists from the Medicine God Association will compete for them. 250 points is the dividing line. For those who have passed the 250 points, I am afraid that the 8th president of the Medicine God Association will personally guide them. It's a pity that people with more than 250 are almost rare to find in 100 years. Gu Yang is one of the best. So far no one can surpass his 260 points. Gu Yang is also one of the current presidents of the Medicine God Association. Enable. Don't give me nonsense. I'm afraid that Haorugjiu is a genius above A+. Watch it carefully. Gu Heng was anxious. This has been the dream of their Medicine God Association for thousands of years, and the talents with unparalleled experience who appear in each generation are their hope. Now a new successor to the of medicine seems to have appeared 100 years later. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 877. Chapter 877. See you again. Zhang Xiaoxiao went up to the 3rd floor of the stairs, and suddenly his vision went dark. The lights on the stairs went out. I thought for a moment, what are you going to do? Suddenly a beam of light flashed in the darkness, and a figure appeared. Zhang Xiaoxiao's eyes lit up. Song Moding's handsome face appeared there, with deep eyes and a smile on his lips. He was always warm and generous, and his tall body made people miss him suffocatingly. Xiao Xiao, you are finally here. I have been waiting for you for a long time. Looking at Zhang Xiaoxiao eagerly, his eyes are so focused that it makes your heart feel hot. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked over forgetfully, wanting to throw himself into Song Moding's arms. She missed him for a long time. She has not seen him for more than a year, and she has not felt alive for a year. She did things numbly so as not to think of Song Moding. Thinking of him would be the biggest pain in her heart. She still loved him, but a year had dulled her memory of her sharp reaction to him. But it seems that all the memories are restored immediately with just one glance. Her feeling was so strong that it was almost painful, and the cells in her body seemed to have come back to life. Nothing has changed. Those suppressed feelings are breaking out. The fact is yes. Still unchanged, she saw that his reaction was still the same as before, with his heart beating faster, excitement reaching his nerve endings, and his skin becoming tight and warm. The desire to touch him, to be close to him, to feel his masculine scent was so strong that it almost made her weak. Then she saw the cruel reality. Her hand penetrated Song Moding's body. Looking at his hands, Zhang Xiaoxiao fell into silence as usual. The more agitated she gets, the quieter she becomes, as if to prevent her protective shell from cracking. Xiaoxiao, don't be afraid. This is a part of my consciousness that appears here. In fact, I am still sleeping. I don't know why my consciousness is here. Xiaoxiao, I know you are still worried about me, and I have been looking forward to being able to come back soon. Wake up, but I can't help it. Hearing his voice and being so close to him almost made her whole body shake. She couldn't raise her head to look back at him. She could only look down at the ground, trying hard not to tremble. 2 drops of transparent liquid fell to the ground. Xiaoxiao, don't cry, I'll feel bad, I'll feel bad. Her throat tightened, and she could only squeeze out a dry whisper. I won't cry. What's going on? What's going on? I'm going crazy. You fell asleep, I looked everywhere for a cure, and now you can appear here? Who did it? Who did it? Zhang Xiaoxiao tried hard to restrain himself, but he was still trembling with anger. She had imagined 1,000 possible things, but she never thought that Song Moding's consciousness could be withdrawn. Others cannot wake up. Human consciousness can wander around. Such an incredible thing happened to her when she saw it. Hurting the person she loved the most and giving her a heavy blow, was this the purpose of that person? Song Moding anxiously wanted to comfort Zhang Xiaoxiao, but unfortunately every touch was in vain. Xiaoxiao, I only remember that after the explosion, my consciousness came here along a black tunnel. I followed a force, an extremely hot force. No matter how hard I struggled, I couldn't break free. I was tightly attracted. I can hear a voice talking to me. But I can't see who it is. One day I suddenly felt your breath, your feeling, and then I was pulled by a force to come here and see you. Zhang Xiaoxiao suddenly saw that Song Moding's body seemed to be gradually fading, with a tendency of getting lighter and lighter. Song Moding, what's going on? You are disappearing. Emoting, don't disappear. Don't. Zhang Xiaoxiao wanted to catch Song Moding, but it was in vain. Don't cry, listen to me. The only thing I can explain is that I am trapped in a secret realm called Kunlun Mountain. The power that controls me seems to be a young man who calls himself General Xian. I have never seen him. He is very powerful, but he seems to be avoiding something. Remember. I love you and the kids, go back and take good care of them. Song Moding's figure has turned into a thick fog, go back, Xiaoxiao. Promise me to go back. Disappeared completely. Facing the empty darkness, Zhang Xiaoxiao searched desperately and banged around, hoping to find Song Moding. A man squatted alone and cried. Zhang Xiaoxiao cried so hard that the sky turned dark and the ground darkened. How long has it been since I cried like this? Zhang Xiaoxiao wiped away his tears, and there was nothing left, except for an ugly machine and a huge glass ball standing there cold. Song Moding has disappeared. The secret realm of Kunlun Mountain. Zhang Xiaoxiao ignited a raging fighting spirit. Isn't it just a Kunlun Mountain? It's not just a secret realm. Number 10, it turns out that number 10 is not the antidote, but number 10 is the instigator. As a person who has died once, what else is there to be afraid of? Besides, she has the biggest support, and she will not stop. Song Moding, just wait. I will find you and take you back. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked up to the ball and beat it hard in a circle. Golden light shines everywhere. The entire test site flashed with countless rays of light. The entire building of the Medicine God Association is shining brightly, attracting countless people to stop and watch. More local people kneel down to worship devoutly. This is a sign of the birth of the God of Medicine. They have a legend for 1,000 years, and the medicine comes to this world and will save them from disasters. Gu Heng looked at Zhang Xiaoxiao on the screen in surprise. The woman didn't know why a person was muttering to the air, then crying bitterly, and then searching frantically. No one thinks it's wrong. Because anyone who has been to the third level knows that when faced with the test of the third level, many people will fall into their own illusions and be unable to extricate themselves. This reaction is not a big deal. The most surprising thing is that the woman actually punched the test ball. This is the last level and the key to the entire test. The test ball will display the score of the last level. The golden light represents 100 points. 300 points. Gu Heng felt like his breathing had stopped. 300% genius. This is the arrival of the medicine god. It is said that only when the god of medicine comes to this world can he get a perfect score of 300 points. It is said that the reincarnation of a medicine will come every 1,000 years. This is the god of medicine. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked down the stairs. The stairs on the first floor were crowded with people. Zhang Xiaoxiao went downstairs as if he didn't see anything. Ms. How, You are now an official pharmacist of the Medicine God Association. Now please go to the office of the President of the Medicine God to accept the badge and authorization of the Medicine God Association. The little receptionist glanced at Mr. Gu behind him uneasily. The powerful aura makes people uneasy. What kind of score is this MS? How that actually made Mr. Gu come out to greet her in person. They don't know what it means. Good. Zhang Xiaoxiao has calmed down. Because of his calmness, his whole person has become more reserved and calm. Song Zian broke through the crowd, followed by Hao Zhigang. Auntie, you passed the test and now you are a member of the Medicine God Association. Auntie, I will wait for you outside and go back to celebrate your success. He was not qualified to enter, but that didn't stop him from becoming the envy of everyone. Too lucky. The Hao family had a pharmacist. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 878. Chapter 878, Robbing People. Song Zian held Zhang Xiaoxiao's hand. She felt the scene mentally. Dad is actually here. Clenched Jiang's small palm tightly. Song Zian wanted to say that her mental power tracked Song Moding's consciousness, but was actually shielded from a world of nothingness. Is there anyone here who is mentally stronger than me? Impossible. But there is no doubt that Song Moding's consciousness is actually here. My daughter. Zhang Xiaoxiao made up his mind to enter Kunlun Mountain. Song Moding is waiting for him. Office of the Medicine God Association. What happened just now? Feng Zishan was almost shocked. Although he thought so in his heart, he couldn't believe it. You all have seen that the vision of the God of Medicine coming to the world just now has appeared, and our family of ancient doctors has given birth to hope. Everyone rushed over, and they must have ideas in their hearts, and that person will be brought over soon. You all should be more reserved and don't scare her. Gu Yang's heart was also agitated. The God of Medicine hadn't appeared in many years. Now it appears again. The of Medicine comes to the world and they are saved. The hope of this generation lies in their hands. President Gu, I should take care of this pharmacist. You all know that the only insider in Kunlun realm is me, Old Wang. Is there anyone else who is qualified besides me? President Wang stroked his beard. He was an old man over 100 years old, and his face was full of pride. Don't be shameless, Lao Wang, who hasn't had those experiences like yours? Hasn't President Gu ever been in there? According to experience, I am the most qualified. I have lived in the secret realm for 30 years. Who is qualified? More familiar with me? President Zhao said, patting his chest. Come on, you are just being a turtle. Who can be as capable as your Zhao family? Find a place to hang out, not to mention 30 years, 300 years is enough. Is this worthy of being called the successor of the God of Medicine? You can't be if you want the descendant of the Medicine God to learn to be a turtle with you. President Wang was unwilling to be demolished and hurriedly exposed the truth. President Li remained silent. He was newly appointed. It was not because of his greatness that he took office, but because his old man was gone. It is well known that I was mentally disturbed, and he was temporarily employed. Who doesn't know Zhang Xiaoxiao? He knows. This woman cannot be offended. There is a powerful murderer behind this woman. Can't afford to offend but can afford to hide. You grab with all your strength. My old Li family will not get involved. Both of you need to show your respects. I, Gu Yang, am not dead yet, so it's not your turn. Gu Yang blew his beard and stared. No matter what, Gu Yang still has the reputation of being the #1 genius in the Gu family for 100 years. Sitting in the position of president, if he wants to speak, he has nothing to do with others. That's not what President Gu said. Everyone wants this apprentice. It's not easy to meet a rare genius in a century. Who doesn't want to be his apprentice? Besides, none of us have selfish motives. Who doesn't want to carry forward our talents? The inheritance of ancient medicine. Of course, the more important thing is to change the curse that has been on us for hundreds of years. Mr. Feng's words made everyone nod. President Feng is right, we are here for everyone. If this child is really the of medicine, it will be the glory of our ancient medical community and our hope. Everyone agreed. At this time there was a knock on the door. Everyone looked stern. Coming. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked in holding her daughter's hand. She had no choice but to hold her tightly. In Song Xian's words, if she didn't come, what if Zhang Xiaoxiao came in and was bullied by these old men? Don't think that there are no powerful people in these ancient medical circles. My daughter has already felt that there are many mentally strong people on this floor. Although Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't understand what strong mental power meant, he knew in his heart that his daughter had her own special ability. Since she said this, it proved that there was a lot of danger here. In addition, Song Moding was trapped here inexplicably, which must have a lot to do with the Medicine God Association. It is a good thing that I have my daughter by my side to protect me this time. Zhang Xiaoxiao is not stupid. His daughter's ability is much stronger than what he sees. I saw two people, one large and one small, walking in. Everyone is dumbfounded. How can this have two meanings, buy a big one and get a small one? Seniors of the Medicine God Association, my name is Hao Rugjio, and I am the 18th generation granddaughter of the Hao family. I am lucky enough to pass the test this time, and I am really honored to meet all the seniors who are admired by me. Be polite. Gu Yang's eyes were sharp. Others even twirled their beards and nodded, not realizing that they were calm and composed at such a young age. No wonder they feel so. Zhang Xiaoxiao's age is actually because of Zhang Xiaoxiao's delicate facial features. His age is very dominant and very deceptive. Everyone sees Zhang Xiaoxiao. They all thought she was a high school graduate who graduated from high school. I didn't even think how old this girl was. She was only 20 years old at most. Hao Rugjio, the 18th generation granddaughter of the Hao family. Very good, but I didn't expect that the Hao family would have such a good talent like you. You actually got a score of 300 points in the 3-level assessment this time. Your results are already considered are the first person that the Medicine God Association has not encountered in thousands of years. The 8 people present now are all presidents of the Medicine God Association. Of course, he is also a medical master who refines medicinal materials and learns medical skills from the Medicine God Association. Each of us has a different medical heritage. Now that you have joined the Medicine God Association, as a physician you can choose one as your teacher. You should carefully consider who to choose as your teacher, who will be most helpful to your future medical skills. For example, me. I am President Gu, and my name is Gu Yang. He is also the head of the Gu family, the only genius who has led the Gu family to revitalize it for 100 years. In terms of medicine, I dare to say that I am second, and no one dares to be first. If you become my apprentice, you will definitely not suffer any disadvantages. You will have access to all the secret recipes of the Gu family and can be refined. The Gu family will not place any restrictions on you. We will even devote all our manpower and material resources to help you improve your medical skills. Lao Wu let out a sigh. President Gu, please be polite. You are a genius. We admit this, as if no one is a genius. But what you can do may not be something others can't do. Our Wu family can also do it. And our Wu family can do it too. It has more secret recipes than your Gu family's secret recipes. If I remember correctly, I entered the Kunlun secret realm several times and got at least 200 more secret recipes than what you have in your hands. Moreover, our Wu family has brought out many more geniuses and treasures from the Kunlun secret realm than your Gu family. Girl, if you regard me as your teacher, think about it, what you get in medical skills is far better than that of the Gu family, and if I serve as your teacher, I will be of great help to you in entering the Kunlun secret realm in the future. Experience is not something that everyone can get. Of course, you still don't know how helpful the Kunlun secret realm will be to you. It will allow you to see a world you have never seen before. It will also allow you to achieve medical miracles, become an upright doctor, save more people, and do what you want to do. The girl must not take the wrong path or choose the wrong person. Others spoke one after another. Who can care about losing face at this time? If you lose face, you will have no successors in the future. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 879. Chapter 879 Apprenticeship. Zhang Xiaoxiao was surprised. She never thought that she would see such a scene when she walked into the door. So many people were vying for her. Moreover, no one regards the Kunlun secret realm as a secret, and it seems so natural to tell them so openly. Before entering this door, Zhang Xiaoxiao had no idea what the so-called Kunlun secret realm was. He only knew about Kunlun Mountain in front of Song Moding's illusory soul. Of course, everyone in Zikan knows about Kunlun Mountain. In his impression, everyone worships and is in awe of Kunlun Mountain. It is said that Kunlun Mountain is a forbidden place, and no one wants to go to Kunlun Mountain. It is said that no one who enters the Kunlun Mountains will come out, but what these people are saying now means that there are people coming out of the Kunlun Mountains, and there is more than one person. Okay. Stop talking nonsense, don't scare this girl. Girl, let me tell you, it doesn't matter who you choose, no one here can influence your opinion. Gu Yang shouted angrily, turning his head, and his expression suddenly became gentle. It's as if the old man blowing his beard and glaring eyes just now is not him. His face changes faster than turning the page of a book. Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled. Is being able to choose a teacher a perk that everyone has, or is it just a perk that I have? Zhang Xiaoxiao naturally didn't know what his score of 300 points meant here. Because there is really no concept and no comparison. How family has not even had anyone pass the first level in hundreds of years, so let alone what does this achievement mean? Everyone who enters the Medicine God Association will choose a teacher, but it is this teacher who chooses the disciples. I am afraid that only the teacher can make the decision, but we don't want to embarrass you, that's why we hope you can choose which of us will be your teacher. Gu Yang smiled slightly. He didn't tell the truth. Indeed, every doctor who joins the Medicine God Association will have a teacher to lead him to learn future medical skills, inheritance, medicine refining, etc., and even train them to explore the possibility of entering the Kunlun secret realm. But this choice is one way. Only teachers choose students, but no students can choose teachers. The only difference is probably that the Haorugjiu in front of her can choose which teacher will be her teacher. This is probably the first time in the Medicine God Association that a student has chosen a teacher. The reason why Gu Yang didn't make it clear was because he didn't want the girl in front of him to be proud. She still has a long way to go, and walking through it requires a person's humility, hard work, and low-keyness. I praised this girl too highly at the beginning, because I was afraid that her pride would affect her future development. Geniuses that are rare in 1,000 years cannot be destroyed in their hands. Every genius that appears in the past 1,000 years is the hope of their Medicine God Association. He has lived for such a long time as an old man. They were just looking forward to the day when he could witness a real miracle while he was still alive. This was probably the hope of all of them, so there were so many teachers from 8 major medical families vying for the girl in front of Professor Hope. Such a joyful time has probably never happened before. Privately, Gu Yang still hopes that he can be Haorugjiu's teacher. Witness the miracle of Kunlun's secret realm. Whether they can accomplish a miracle that spans the ages in their hands. Teachers. I know that all 8 of you are highly respected, important inheritors in the world of ancient medicine, and the best teachers in medical skills. But it is really difficult for me to choose a teacher. Can we discuss it? How many more teachers should I choose? I am a very hard-working student, and I guarantee that no matter who I study with, I will learn the essence very well. Besides, I think medical skills should be inclusive, all-encompassing, and integrated with each other, so that maybe new miracles can be created. It's not that Zhang Xiaoxiao is greedy, it's that Zhang Xiaoxiao doesn't want to hurt other people's face. Besides, she inquired about the 8 aristocratic families, and this choice was indeed a bit difficult. Zhang Xiaoxiao knew that her purpose was to enter the Kunlun Mountains. We must enter the secret realm of Kunlun. According to common sense, the old man of the Wu family said that he has entered the Kunlun secret realm the most times and has the most experience. This cannot be a lie. Otherwise, how can others not refute it? That is what is most helpful to you. But Zhang Xiaoxiao also knew that he must get the Gu family's rejuvenation pill. No matter whether this rejuvenation pill was useful to Song Moding or not, he could prepare for future troubles. The problem is that if you choose the Gu family, you cannot choose the Wu family, and if you choose the Wu family, you cannot choose the Gu family. This is a dilemma for her. It makes people feel a little greedy to say this, but there is no way she wants to have it both ways. How will you know if it works if you don't give it a try? Gu Yang was stunned, and everyone else also looked at each other. Following that, the eyes of Gu Yang and President Wu burst out with light. That's right, why didn't they think of it? Why do they have to have a teacher? If everyone were her teachers and all the heads of families were gathered together, maybe the child in front of her would have different opportunities. After all, the information and inheritance received by everyone entering the Kunlun secret realm are different. If they learn from the strengths of many experts, the two people have the illusion of sudden enlightenment. Unexpectedly, they have lived for so long, and they don't even understand this truth. Figure it out. Perhaps they have never been able to find a way to lift the curse in the Kunlun secret realm because their thinking is fixed in a certain pattern. They are not as smart and fast as today's young people. Of course, this is because each of them has his own selfish motives and hopes that his family will be strong and powerful. And I have never considered joining forces with others. Of course, even if powerful forces join forces, in the end everyone will part ways for the sake of profit. Now, Zhang Xiaoxiao opened a new door in front of them. The world suddenly became different before their eyes, and suddenly became bright and clear. Well. President Wu laughed. Gu Yang and the others all looked at each other and smiled. Yes. One teacher is not enough. Already the god of medicine has come to this world. If we learn from the inheritance of the 8 presidents and absorb the experience of the 8 families, then people are really looking forward to what kind of results there will be. I'm very happy. Xiaoxiu, as your teacher in the future, I will definitely try my best to teach you. Gu Yang stretched out his big hand. Hello teacher. Zhang Xiaoxiao shook hands with 8 elderly men one by one, and also paid homage to 8 teachers in disguise. Originally, Zhang Xiaoxiao was going to kowtow respectfully to a few people according to the ancient rituals, but Gu Yang said that the times are changing with each passing day, and keeping pace with the times, this practice has long been out of date. Although they are teachers, they don't need those common etiquette. As long as Zhang Xiaoxiao bows to a few teachers, it will be regarded as a formal apprenticeship. Starting tomorrow, Zhang Xiaoxiao will enter the Medicine God Association and begin to formally participate in studies. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 880. Chapter 880 Shameless. Zhang Xiaoxiao went back to make arrangements and told his daughter to distribute the peach juice. Who told his daughter that she must have a storage space similar to her own. Otherwise, she wouldn't know where to put the things she gave her. There are more secrets in this child than in her. But starting from today, Zhang Xiaoxiao will enter the Medicine God Association and start studying, so all trivial matters must be put aside. The management rights of the pharmacy were handed over to Hao Zhigang and others. Hand the refining medicine to Song Zian. Zhang Xiaoxiao must devote himself to studying. Song Zian was not happy. Originally she wanted to follow Zhang Xiaoxiao, but Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't allow it. Who goes to school with a child? Besides, there is no danger in going to the Medicine God Association to study by yourself, but taking Song Zian with you would be really dangerous. It's not like she has never seen Song Zian's destructive power before. Song Zian pouted, but it was Zhang Xiaoxiao who exhorted and exaggerated the family's burden of refining medicine and times, so Song Zian reluctantly continued. Of course, Zhang Xiaoxiao coaxed Song Zian to prepare gifts for her brothers, sisters, grandparents, and the whole family. Gifts are all kinds of novel elixirs. This statement moved Song Zian. Otherwise Song Zian would not be able to agree. Two people arranged everything. As a result, I saw an unexpected guest when I got home. Hao Zhigang looked unhappy. Auntie, I'm really sorry, I didn't expect Uncle and the others to come to see you. Grandma has always said that she should take care of the trivial matters outside, not to cause any trouble to her aunt, and to concentrate on the matters of the Medicine God Association. Today, my aunt has just become famous all over the world. Who still doesn't know that the Medicine God Association has produced a top genius pharmacist? It is also very likely that the of medicine comes to the world. It is still from their Hao family. At this time, the Hao family's reputation spread far and wide. Even their pharmacy was much busier than usual in selling medicine this afternoon. How many people are looking for the golden sign of the successor of the medicine god? When buying medicine, many people say that this is the elixir refined by the successor of the medicine god. No wonder the level 10 elixirs only sell for cabbage prices. This is the ambition that only the god of medicine has to save the world and save people. The talent passed down by the medicine god is so high. He already has such a powerful ability to refine medicine even before he has entered the Medicine God Association. Everyone wants to witness the elegance of the god of medicine. Hao Changgang knew in his heart that the rise of the Hao family had only occurred in the past 2 days. The Hao family has a successor to the medicine god. It is estimated that from now on, the Hao family may be able to join the 8 major medical families. But just thinking about it now, the inheritance is too weak, and other people have dozens or hundreds of secret recipes. The only thing they can rely on is a secret recipe. The medical family did not just rely on words. They just hoped that their aunt could give them time to flourish and give them some time after finishing their own affairs. Who would have thought that just after returning home, the shameless uncle and the others would come to his door again? He knew that his aunt was now making a name for the Hao family. The uncle and the others saw that there was a profit to be made, so why wouldn't they come? Some time ago, the business of Hajia Pharmacy was very good and they advertised. Uncle Hao and the others had been there before. At that time, they were trying hard to get a piece of the family property. As a result, he and his great-grandmother were kicked out directly. In addition, all the talented and promising children from the eldest uncle's family and other uncles and uncles' families were received into the family, and they learned medical skills from their aunts and taught them how to refine elixirs. It calmed the uncle and the others a little. There were no further disturbances coming to my door, but it is different now. The Hao family has a successor to the god of medicine. This is the successor to the god of medicine. This kind of reputation will naturally be of great benefit to their future business. Who doesn't want this kind of reputation? Unable to see the uncle, the others immediately rushed home again with eyes shining brightly. This time, even he and his great-grandmother couldn't stop it. She was very determined to see her aunt. Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't care. After all, she had the reputation of being the Hao family's granddaughter. It was normal to meet these top relatives. She couldn't take up the Hao family's quota. Once you have entered the Medicine God Association, you should tear down the bridge immediately. You will not be so quick to burn down the bridge across the river. Besides, Zhang Xiaoxiao is not someone who burns bridges when crossing rivers. It's okay, I'll go in and see them. If they don't see me, I guess they won't give up. You and Grandma will still be in trouble in the future. Hao Zhigang felt guilty. Song Zian glared at Hao Zhigang. It's useless, trash. Hao Zhigang felt wronged and seemed to be a waste. As soon as Zhang Xiaoxiao entered the living room, there were several grown men sitting in the living room who were having a heated discussion. At once they all stood up. The expression is enthusiastic, the face is distorted by a smile, and the face is full of smiles. The leader, Uncle Hao, was in completely shameless mode. He rushed up to hold Zhang Xiao's hand and praised him repeatedly. Rugjiu, you are really powerful, the successor of the god of medicine. Rugjiu, eldest brother, has never misjudged you. You are the future of our Hao family. Those days, eldest brother, were a test for you. I don't want you to lose your progress because of family ties. Heart of. Look, now you have really not let us down. Shameless. Zhang Xiaoxiao gently pulled out his hand. Brothers, please sit down. Let's sit down and talk. If you have anything to say, today, say it clearly. This will save you from bothering Grandma and Zhigang all the time in the future. Speaking coldly and having a tough attitude. Uncle Hao's face stiffened. They also regretted in their hearts, if they had known from the beginning that this cheap sister they found had such great abilities and such great talents. They would definitely be affectionate and treat each other as relatives, but they didn't think much of this sister at that time. Now it's no wonder that people with this attitude have a good look on them. That's strange. Rugjiu, don't say it so harshly. We are all a family. Why should we say it like this? When you are well, the Hao family will be well. Of course, we are one body, we are all prosperous, and we are all harmed. Now you are the successor of the medicine god. You can't ignore our family, we are your brothers after all. Brothers of the same mother, you can't be too kind to one and not too favorable to another. Then what do you want? Uncle Hao immediately became happy. We don't want to do anything. Hao Zhigang is still too young. How can they run those pharmacies well? We brothers count these 6 pharmacies, and there is exactly one for each. We old people have to step in. Young people are unreliable. We know that you are about to start studying at the Medicine God Association. The outside affairs will naturally be left to us. With elders like us taking the initiative, the Hao family's business will naturally be run very well. Besides, this is our family's business, and we will definitely run it with care, so just relax. This is to divide the family property. Yes, just feel free to leave it to us. Zhigang and the others are still too young, so leave it to them. Those who can't keep their family property have to leave it to us old people. Others were talking a lot and wanted to take over the pharmacy now. End of this chapter.